the hell kind of name is Bear, anyway? This is going to be a shorter one, I think, because you know how sometimes you're so impressed by a film that you don't quite know what to say about it, or how to put it into words. And if I loved you less, I might be able to talk about it more situation. I'm so pissed it technically didn't come out in 2026, so I won't be able to put it in my top 5. Fuck it, I might cheat and sneak it in there anyway. So why am I so excited about this movie? For one, and this is the most vital piece for me, is that Obsession isn't your typical wish-granted story. It's not a monkey's paw situation where no matter how carefully you phrase your demand, you end up with something terrible. A side character wishes for $1 million, and that's what he gets. No more, no less. No one has to die, or get hurt, or lose anything. For harm to come from your wish, you have to not care about the consequences of it towards other people, which would require the sort of guy who thinks he is so nice, such a good friend, because he listens so intently, because he pretends to care so much, all while waiting until the day he finally gets to bone you and not considering you as a real person. That is the main character Bear, to a T. He seems to have a vision of himself as a good dude, a nice guy, if you will. But from the jump, there are several instances of proof that he straight up doesn't respect women's point of views. He asks for help, asking someone out, but chooses to go with the advice of his guy friend rather than the girl who was nice enough to volunteer to act out the scenario for him. Then later, when he wants to buy a special gift, he again ignores the suggestion of the retail worker there that he specifically asked for, because it doesn't fit with the fantasy in his head. So it's not too much of a surprise that he waits until after he gets the confirmation that his friend Nikki would be relieved by the thought of him not being into her, to make his wish. His wish, mind you, that Nikki would love him more than anyone else in the entire world. Now you might go, oh, how is he supposed to know it would work for real? And that's the thing. Nikki starts acting strangely immediately after, does a total 180, from being annoyed and confused by him, to wanting to go to his house, to sleep in the same bed as him, to kiss him even. But when she does kiss Bear, she jumps back in fright, practically screaming, like she just woke up from a nightmare. Because Nikki is trapped in her own body, being piloted by this wish, with no say or control in what she has to do. A literal worst nightmare. None of that is apparently odd enough to throw Bear off, though. Why would he let a little weirdness deny him what he always wanted? Except for the fact, that Nikki is not a thing, and that none of this is consensual or right. So many times Bear gets the chance to think through what he's doing. When he finds out for sure that Nikki is, in fact, under the spell of the wish, and that their whole relationship he started isn't real, what does he do then? He goes home and has sex with her, which of course is assault. Then, when she starts acting in ways that are concerning or hazardous to herself, like not remembering to go to the bathroom and having to make a mess of herself in the living room floor, because all Nikki is allowed to think of is Bear, Bear doesn't even want to call it off then. He wishes he could alter the wish, not end it, not set Nikki free. Their whole song and dance is torturous and uncomfortable, but he won't let it go. Nikki, the real Nikki, gets one terrible moment of clarity while whatever is controlling her is asleep, and she straight up begs Bear to set her free, to just kill her. This is no way to live, it's heartbreaking. And this guy has the fucking audacity to ask if being with him is really that bad. To which Nikki tells it to him like it is. She's never been with him. What he has isn't Nikki. She wouldn't be with him at all. She certainly wouldn't become something completely terribly devoted to him to the point of destruction. Bear refuses her that freedom too, showing that none of this was ever about Nikki to him. This was about lust, about his want to have her, not her as a human, but her as a thing. It isn't until another person gets caught in the crossfire and killed that he decides to try to end things. Continuously inflicting abuse on someone he claims to love wasn't reason enough, clearly. That's why the title Obsession is so fitting. It's not about how Nikki is forced to be obsessed with Bear, it's about how Bear is obsessed with the idea of Nikki and possessing her by any means. The film never shies away from that either. That you're supposed to feel horrified for Nikki, to want her to be set free, that she is the victim. And that is so refreshing. A worse movie, one with a less self-aware writer or with a writer that isn't coming from the right place, could have tried to make you also sympathize with Bear. We don't have any of that here. Every choice he could possibly make wrong, he does it without a second thought. Pre-wish Nikki has such interiority too, with aspirations to quit her dead-end job to pursue her passion for writing, a rocky, distant relationship with her father, feelings and opinions that clash with the person Bear wants her to be. That's what makes it all so difficult to watch. That's what makes it true horror. It's crazy. I was so stoked that my theater going experience was finally looking up that I forgot to gush about the acting in this movie. Indy Navarrete was amazing. I mean, they both were. Her and Michael Johnston, but her especially. I've seen that she said in an interview somewhere that she's not very into horror, that she's a little sensitive to it, but I would love to see her in more things. Oh, and by the way, I still am planning on making an Iron Lung breakdown. It's just taking a little longer than I originally anticipated. There's so much to get into with cosmic horror. But enough of me going on and on. If you want to find me on Letterboxd, I'm the Plasma Pool. I'm also on Tumblr under Micah's Media Recap. Consider leaving a like and subscribing if you liked this video, and thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.